Smiling faces, the family way. Margaret, Lou, and Quilting will make your day. I was getting ready to do the intro to this, and I was looking at the stitches in the television monitor, and I love the way this looks. Look at all of that great texture and the fact that it's so dimensional. I just am in love with it. So this is the woven picot stitch, and this is the drizzle stitch. I'll put a link below to the woven picot, and today we're going to learn the drizzle stitch. Hi, I'm Margaret Lewin, and welcome to Margaret Lewin Quilting. Today I'm going to show you how to do the drizzle stitch. Now here's some examples. This pink stitch is the drizzle stitch. Let's see, where's another one? This pink one is a drizzle. This is a drizzle stitch, this yellow one. And this is a drizzle stitch. Alright, so those are all different drizzle stitches. And I'm going to show you how to do it with two different threads. And the only reason for the different color of threads is I think the yellow's a little bit easier to see. But as you can see in my piece that I'm working on right now, I've got the petals, which are picot stitches, and then those are in yellow, and then I'm doing the drizzle stitches in purple. I just think the yellow might be a little bit easier to see on camera, so I'm actually going to do it in two colors. So let me get my needle threaded up first. Now I'm using my number 1 milliner's needle. This is it. It is a big needle, but you know, it's not so big that it's not horribly big, but it is a big needle. So I'm going to thread my needle first. I think you can also see that I have a pillow on my lap, and the reason for that is it makes it really easy to stick the needle into when I'm making the drizzle stitch. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my needle to the front of my fabric, or my thread to the front of my fabric, including my needle. So I'm just locking my thread in there, and I'm going to do 2 stitches right across my thread here, and that's going to lock it right in for me. Okay, so there's my 2 stitches. Now I'm going to bring my needlework to the front. Once I get my needlework to the front, I'm actually going to unthread my needle. I'm going to take the threads right out, and I'm going to put my needle down right next to where I came up. Okay, so you can see here I came up. I'm going to put my needle right here, right into the pillow. Then I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to put my hand over my thread, and then I'm going to rotate it around, and I'm going to thread it right over my needle. So right there is stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now there's a couple things I want you to notice while I have it at this point. I'm going to try to turn my pillow a little bit so you can see it. I've created all of these really cute little knots all the way up and down my needle. Now what's going to happen to those is they actually are going to end up twisting together. So if I was to leave them, well, I'll show you. Here we go. I'm going to rethread my needle. Needle's rethreaded. I'm going to hold my tail of my last knot right here tightly. And I'm actually going to switch it over, and I'm going to put it with my left thumb, holding it down. I'm going to pull my piece up from off the pillow, And then I'm going to reach under my work and I'm just going to pull my needle right on through. And I could leave my drizzle stitch like this so that it's very tall and straight. And my knots are almost perfectly straight. They're pretty close to being straight up and down. See, there's all my knots. Or I can pull it tighter. And when I pull it tighter, look at what happens. Just kind of spins a little bit so that it's really got some cool texture. And one of the nice things about working with a variegated thread is you really start to notice that because of the fact that your thread is variegated. Isn't it neat? That's all it is. Isn't it just the coolest? And the other thing about the drizzle stitch is you can do as many as you want. You don't have to say, oh, I'm only going to do 1 loop or 2 loops, or you can do as many as you want. So let me tie this off and then I'll show you what I'm working on. And now I'm going to pull out my purple thread. And I've got a good long piece because I'm going to make more than 1 drizzle. So here we are back to my working piece. Thread my needle, anchor my thread. I'm going to bring my thread up to the front of my work, and I want to try to get it right over in here. I kind of have a blank spot there, so I'm going to bring it up, pull my needle through. I'm going to take my thread off my needle, and that's where I came up, so I'm going to go right down next to it, right there. Right? Little full in here, but that's okay. I'm going to grab my thread, I'm going to wrap it around, bringing my finger towards me. I got my finger here, wrapping it towards me and then away. 2. I'm just going to keep threading them. 3, 4. Remember, I said you could do as many as you wanted. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to do one more, 12, because I want to get this lighter purple through. I'm going to rethread my needle. All right, now I'm going to hold my tail. This is my tail where it's connected to my stitching, my drizzle stitch. All right, I'm going to hold that with my thumb, and this time I'm going to hold my first finger with it. I want to hold down my petals for my woven picot stitches, and I'm going to lift it up off the pillow now, and I'm just going to pull it through. All right, whoopsie. There I go, pulling it through. All right, see? There it is. See all my little knots? Now I really could leave it loose like this if I wanted to. Let's see what it looks like. I think it's too tall. So I'm going to pull it till I can see that I like how it's laying. And I think I'm okay with it just like that. I'm just going to hold my work, turn it over, button down my stitch so it doesn't go anyplace, and go on and do another one. All right, so here we go on to the next one. I'm going to bring my work up, look at it, see where I need another stitch or two, and I think I need another one right over here. Pull my thread to the front side of my work. Right. Stick the needle down right next to where I came up to start. Put it right into my pillow so that it's hanging on to something, and let's start weaving. 1, rethread my needle. I've rethreaded my needle. Just gonna kind of untwist this. I'm going to hold on to my tail again. This time I seem to be able to do it with just my thumb. I'm going to reach behind me, pull my stitches through, and there's another drizzle stitch. Okay, And again, I can play with it to see how tight or how loose I want it. I think right there was good. I'm gonna fasten my stitch down by stitching it and then crossing it twice. Just kind of weaving it through. The back's getting a little messy at this point, but I'm having too much fun to care. All right, now I gotta turn it over and look at it again. Oh, I want another one right here for certain. I think I really need another one right there. I'll do one more, and then we're done with the drizzle stitch. Again, holding where the last knot is made on my drizzle stitch taut, pulling it up, pulling it through, and there is my last drizzle stitch. Now, I can also make it tighter. If I just pull harder on the back side and twist it around, see how I can make it twist right up? Watch. See? I can twist it right up myself too, okay? So that is how we go about making the drizzle stitch. I hope you enjoyed watching me and learning how to make this stitch. If you haven't already, please do share pictures of your embroidery stitches with us in my Facebook group, Margaret Lewin Quilting. I would love to see how you're doing with your stitches. And I will see you again really soon for another stitch in our wool needle keeper. Thanks so much. Bye.